Namaste and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive into the Freebies versus welfare debate, this is big news. Our investigations editor Manoj Gupta has been able to get details of yet another radical, yet another terrorist who's been caught. This is a Trojan within, ladies and gentlemen, and this is way beyond just Nupur Sharma. That's the details, most comprehensive, exclusive details of the arrest in Saharanpur of another terrorist who's been caught. CNN News 18's mega exclusive. That's what we're going to start straight away with the Uttar Pradesh police, and I'm getting you these details. Uttar Pradesh police arresting a terrorist, and the inputs come from the central agencies. And we've got the inside track here. So that's what we're putting out. Top intelligence sources are telling CNN News 18 that this person, Mohammad Nadeem, is a resident of the Kundeheda in Saharanpur. He was in touch with the Jaish-e-Mohammed. The intel inputs have led to the arrest of this person, and he was also in touch with other Pak-based outfits, terror groups, and this is since 2017, ladies and gentlemen. So the details that have come through is that he was in touch with them through his Indian WhatsApp number and was asking others to also join the Jaish-e-Mohammed in India. Nadeem was also active on social media. He was also active on social media under an array of aliases, and the case goes just beyond instructions to him for murdering Nupur Sharma. In the interrogation, he's accepted that he's got a link from Bihar to join the Rahe-Hidayat. This was through a group on Telegram. He was also active on various chatting apps like WhatsApp through different Indian and European numbers. This is a big arrest ahead of the 75th Independence Day. He was also on IMO Ahmed, that is his ID on Telegram, Baghi, and other IDs. These are the IDs that he was using. This is the inside track of this man on your screen at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Vikram Singh Ji, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, is with us. Vikram Singh Ji, we've got some more information that we have. So before I come across to you, I just want to put that out also and then have a quick chat with you. This is the other aspect that we have got more details that we have now that we have accessed on Mohammad Nadeem, this terrorist. Now, this after credible intelligence was picked up. Can we just quickly go through this also? Credible intelligence was picked up on his digital and forensics. It was found that he was active on Facebook through his ID Gumnam Hamsafar and also Medim Rao. That was his handle on Instagram. And he was active through his ID Ali Bhai in 999 on Twitter, and also Inshad Nadeem. That was also another handle that he was using. So he was using multiple handles on YouTube. Also, he was active through this ID Basit Khan. Now, on all this, lot of jihadi material has been put, and it used to come. And what has happened is he studied the use of chemical explosives. The fact is that he was in touch with a guy from Bihar. His name is Saifullah. This person in Bihar put him in touch with another Saifullah in Pakistan. And that Saifullah connected him with members of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan in Balakot. So he belongs, and this Saifullah instructed him to also circulate. The Saifullah in India, from Bihar, asked him to push this jihadi material and try and radicalize and recruit others. He later shared videos to Bihar-based friends and also to his friends in Uttarakhand. Then the India-based Saifullah introduced him to another Saifullah in Pakistan. That's what happened. And said that they were working on jihad for Islam. On chatting apps, accepted in his interrogation details that he was in touch with this Saifullah in Pakistan, where he was asked to connect with more and more people through social media. The Saifullah in Pakistan also told him that he is a commander of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. He was asked to arrange weapons and guns in India. As far as funding, he was told, Abhi khud ka jugaad karo, arrange for now. We will send you money later. He was also asked to operate via Telegram through Orbit. And Saifullah was also introduced to people in Balakot by the name of Ramiz and another person by the name of Abdullah, who are also members of the TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. This guy has also accepted in his interrogation that he was almost in touch with them on a daily basis, and they asked him to explore about chemical explosives, detonators, time fuse, and blasting related PDF that has also been found, which runs into about 70 pages. Vikram Singh Ji, as we look at these details, this is shocking. Once again, a Bihar connection emerges and a Pakistan connection emerges, and a man sitting via using encrypted platforms on social media is in touch with the terrorists on foreign soil.
Absolutely, Anandji, shocking, but on expected lines. Yes, Nadeem seems to be very, very familiar with fabrication of bombs, chemical assembly of bombs, also the circuitry and the use of these platforms like Votim, Telegram, WhatsApp, and other such encrypted platforms. He seems to have links with Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and also Jaish-e-Mohammed, recruiting the local lads from Uttarakhand, Bihar, and a Saifullah and the Saifullah. But you may recall that when ATS was started in Saharanpur, people were questioning and raising eyebrows. Why in Saharanpur? Well, I hope all the queries and their apprehensions have been answered now with an absolute certainty that if people like Nadeem can be arrested just 2 days before our Independence Day and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, well, no questions can be raised as far as the veracity or the validity of the ATS office being opened in Saharanpur. Now coming to the fact that yes, interrogation has revealed that he is totally radicalized, also seems to be working for the Caliphate, and also is an agent of Pakistan. Under these circumstances, Anandji, I would say a thorough interrogation by the sister agency, immediate follow-up, because there is not much time, only 48 hours. Within these 48 hours, minute by minute and hour by hour, follow-up, recoveries of these incendiary material, pamphlet, literature, and those foot soldiers who have been recruited by Nadeem, they have to be accounted for. And accounted for, that will be, I'm sure, I have no doubt in my mind, that we have the best police force in the country, and a resolute nation will come together to give a befitting reply to the likes of Nadeem and their handlers in Pakistan and elsewhere. Tehreek-e-Taliban and Pakistan had better look after their own affairs there in the borders with Afghanistan rather than meddle in our affairs. We are a resolute nation, but yes, we have a task at hand, and it is indeed very sinister and calls for burning the midnight oil to get to the bottom of this major conspiracy. Anandji.
Ji, Vikramji, one more quick question. The fact is, this man was in touch with these groups since 2017. So for 5 years, they are grooming him and radicalizing him, trying to prime him for perhaps a strike at an opportune time. This is something which we have seen with some of the other radicals too. Everybody is saying that it is because of Nupur Sharma's comments, etc. But that seems to be looked as a peg or perhaps a reason for some people to unleash mayhem on Indian soil. Because these people have been, the butchers of Udaipur were being radicalized since 2013, 2014. This person has been in touch with these terror outfits in 2017. The other aspect is that the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan are also busy radicalizing people in India, along with the Jaish, which are already nefarious.
Anandji, forget Nupur Sharma. Nupur Sharma is just a bahana, an excuse, and then, as very rightly mentioned, just a peg to further their own nefarious designs. And if after 2013 the Udaipur goons could write on their motorcycle numbers 911, what more did we expect? Of course, they are die-hard perverts, and they needed to have been weeded out long ago. But yes, better late than never. In the case of the Udaipur goons and also in the case of Nadeem, it is best to get inside and behind their eyeballs and see which direction. They were operating and working since 2017, and to say that it was because of Nupur Sharma that it was precipitated is just absolutely unacceptable.
Vikram Singh ji, thank you very much for joining us. Big development this. We've got comprehensive details here at CNN News 18 of the interrogation details of this terrorist who's been nabbed from Saharanpur and the connections with Pak-based terror outfits since 2017 and via highly encrypted social media platforms using multiple handles, and it's all radical material. More importantly, also trying to recruit within India. These Trojans within are the biggest danger, ladies and gentlemen, to us as society. Moving on here, after that big exclusive here at CNN News 18, to the other debate. The debate that's been triggered with not just petitions and the Supreme Court wanting a comprehensive approach towards this. In fact, the Chief Justice has turned around and said, can somebody come with a solution? But to you, the viewer, I'm asking this question as the Prime Minister called out Revdi politics. What is Revdi and what is not? I mean, what is freebie and what is welfare? Are you clear about the concept in your head? This is the current state of affairs of finances in our country of various states. If you want to give out a dole, shouldn't you have money in your pocket? If you want to give somebody something, should you not have money in your pocket? If you yourself are in the throes of huge amount of debt, can you afford to give more or throw at people just so that you can continue to remain in power? Is that short-sightedness? Is that not foolhardy? Is that not going to show, not just hurt the state, but eventually the country? Nations like Sri Lanka and Venezuela are paying the price for this freebie culture. How do you draw the line and get the clarity on what is freebie and what is welfare? Now, this is what the Prime Minister raised the power dues concern and what states actually owe. Let's look at this. Maharashtra owes 22,712 crore rupees. The dues from Tamil Nadu are 21,399 crore rupees. Telangana is 17,244 crore rupees. Andhra Pradesh 9,945 crore rupees. Uttar Pradesh 7,973 crore rupees. Jammu and Kashmir 7,954 crore rupees. These are the concerns that we are seeing. And let's look at what is the freebies, what is the kind of freebies that states are pushing. In Punjab, everybody is getting free electricity. Now, free electricity, 300 units of electricity per month per household. At what cost? It comes at 7,200 crore to 8,500 crore rupees worth of annual subsidy. That's what is being given out. Punjab, 9,020 crore debt to discoms. It's the second highest after Rajasthan because of this freebie culture ki sabko free mein dena hai. The other aspect, 742 crore debt to non-state Gencos and 2,49,187 crore is the overall outstanding liabilities as of March 2021 data. That's what we are quoting. Then Delhi, 200 units of free electricity per month per household. 3,250 crore is the Delhi government allocation for power subsidy in 2022-23 itself. 475 crore debt to non-state Gencos. 3,600 crore is the overall outstanding liabilities as of March 2021. We are already a year and a half later beyond that, ladies and gentlemen. The question that we are asking is, does this Revdi politics charge not stick? Let's dive into the debate with our guests. Sanju Verma, spokesperson, national spokesperson of the BJP is with us. Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress party with us. Modi versus Revdi politics is the hashtag, and we also have Professor D.K. Giri, political analyst, joining us this evening. Namaste, it's the three of you. Well, Sanju Verma may say you have put me one against two, but the fact of the matter is that the argument is against the government. And the government has to defend itself, and Sanju Verma, you will be more than able to defend the economics and try and divide between freebies and welfare. But let us ask Lokesh Jindal, it's good to do something good for people, but for that you have to have something in your pocket. Will you borrow money from D.K. Giri and say, listen, I have promised Sanju Verma and Anand Narasimhan that I am going to give them money every month. So D.K. Giri, you give me money and I'll give it to them and I'll continue to remain in debt. What kind of policy is that? That's what a lot of states are trying to do.
Good evening, everyone. You see, when we are talking about welfare-oriented policies, this had been since history, this has been there. In the medieval times, we used to have the churches, the temples giving some form of langar, food to the masses, to the needy. And in the modern state system, this task was taken up by the state. So, a social security net and some form of an economic security net has to be there. It not only functions as an automatic stabilizer, but it is also there to absorb some of the shocks that are taking place externally or internally. So it is bound to be there. You cannot say that we can do away with it. Secondly, when we talk about the nature of these forms of policies, we have to see on what is the overall goal these policies are aiming at. During the Congress regime, when Indira Gandhi initiated the culture of roti kapda makan, minimum support price, all forms of distribution, so that people, they can have some form of means for livelihood and they can increase their propensity to save, so as to eliminate...
People is equal to all people or some people? Some people who are below the poverty line, economically weaker sections, the poor, correct. So if, but if in a state I give free bijli to everybody, then what does that mean? Does that make sense? Or should I say that people who have an income of less than 5 lakh rupees per annum, I will give them 200 units of bijli free? Then that means you are actually targeting the economically weaker sections, right?
No. Let me complete, sir.
Huh.
So what I would say is
Social
during that
security
time
is
period,
welfare,
the
sir.
aim was to emancipate people from the poverty. But now the point is, all this is being done to win elections.
Correct.
So if at all the policy is being there, the policy is there so as to emancipate people from poverty, so as to bring about human development, it is welcome.
Correct.
But if the policy is initiated just before the election, so as to win the election, despite not having any form of means for its execution,
Correct.
then it's a freebie and it should be banned from all in all forms.
Correct. So, but then if you are promising all of this, you are purely saying very clearly that when these announcements happen before elections, they are done to win votes.
Now, in that case, I would like to draw a parallel between the election manifesto that was released by the Congress and the election manifesto that was released by the BJP in the UP election. Now, in 2022, when Congress came out with the election manifesto, it clearly stated about the number of jobs it is going to provide to the masses. It did not give some form of, a huge utopian form of a picture which was not possible for the state finances or which was a burden on the state exchequer. But compared to that, if you look at the election manifesto which BJP gave, it started promising about 90 lakh, 50 lakh jobs every year and all forms of,
90 lakh or 50 lakh में बहुत फर्क है सर. 40 lakh jobs ऐसे ही आप you cannot just make a statement like that. The other point is, sir, should the Sarkar promise jobs or the Sarkar say that we will create an environment that will create jobs? It's the private entities that create jobs. Sarkari jobs नहीं होने चाहिए. That is again faulty policy. The moment you say Sarkar will give so many jobs, then again you are going to burden the taxpayer and the exchequer. You have to create an environment where there will be job creation that will happen. So that's what I'm trying. Sanju,
we always have a trade-off.
No.
Whether your policies are favoring the corporate class or you are favoring the
Sir,
MSME.
don't grudge the corporates. It's the corporates who generate wealth and it's the corporate who generate employment in the country.
Sir,
It's
MSME.
not the job
No,
of the
sir.
government to
It is
run
the
companies and to create jobs, and government job is governing. So वो basic फंडा ही घुमा हुआ है तो फिर वही problem है, sir. Okay,
Sir,
one minute.
let
Let Sanju Verma come in. Don't grudge the corporates. You have to help the corporates because you have to have people who will create wealth, who will become entrepreneurs so that they can create jobs. It's the private sector that gives jobs. It's not the state government that gives jobs. And if you believe that you're going to run a state by giving state government Sarkari jobs, then you already have a wrong model that is in place. You already have a wrong model in place.
Sir,
Because people will get that Sarkari job and do no work. The government job is not to run companies. The government job is to create an environment so that companies can be formed and companies can run. You know, basic funda hai, sir. Even from Kautilya, it has been followed. It has been followed from Kautilya in our country. I don't know why we have lost concept. Okay. Let Sanju Verma respond. Yes, Sanju Verma.
Okay. Anand, I think I'll start by saying that good politics makes for good economics. And vice versa too. Good economics also makes for good politics. This whole debate about freebies, one thing that I want to make very clear at the outset is that in any country, more so in the world's largest democracy with a population of 1.4 billion people, there has to be the right balance between welfare economics and reforms. You have to have structural reforms in place to put the economy on a long-term growth trajectory. At the same time, given that there are still people who are poor, who are needy, who are marginalized, who are underprivileged, who've never had access to equal opportunities, the government does need to engage in hand-holding. Now, that being said, how do you differentiate between what is the freebie and what is the subsidy? So I will just start by saying that a subsidy is a targeted economic incentive which caters to just a target section of the population which deserves it. So when you give 2 lakh crore to over 10 crore farmers in India under the PM Kisan scheme, it is largely aimed at farmers who have not been able to, be a part of the socio-economic ecosystem where access to opportunities was equal over the last 70 odd years, barring a few large farmers who are landholders. I'm talking of the larger landless class because 87% of India's farmers own less than 2 hectares of land. I did not interrupt you, look. Anand, I will not debate if this
comes out to be 20 rupees per day.
No.
Anand, I will not debate like this.
Again the logic घुमा. Sir, again फिर logic घुमा गया आपका. वो जो 2000 रुपया दिया जाता है सर, वो बोआई के
I
टाइम में
will
दिया
not
जाता
debate. I did not interrupt him.
No, one minute, Sanju Verma. I'm just saying simple फंडा सोचिए, वो 2000 रुपए पूरे साल के लिए नहीं दिया जाता सर, वो और पूरे क्वार्टर के लिए नहीं दिया जाता है. That 2000 rupees is given at the time of sowing कि 2000 रुपए का आप बीज खरीदें, वो बीज से बोआई कर लें. That is the simple point, and that's also not given to every farmer. If you look at the clauses, it is shown how much of land holding do you have. Are you a landowner or are you somebody who's tilling the land on behalf of somebody? That you have to specify that. If you have a land holding beyond a certain limit, then you are not eligible for that subsidy. There is a clause there. It's not that it's not there.
Then why did the government reduce the
You know,
engine
this
arena
cannot be a
outlay?
debate.
No. Don't try and shift. Don't keep saying shifting goalposts. Again, you're talking about all that which is supposed to be welfare. You're not talking about freebie. Freebie is सबको free बिजली, सबको free पानी, सबको फ्री बस राइड. अरे बस नहीं है बस राइड, बिजली नहीं है फ्री बिजली, पानी नहीं है फ्री पानी, कहां से लाओगे? दैट इज अ क्वेश्चन सर. दैट इज फ्रीबी पॉलिटिक्स. Sanju Verma, complete, and then I'm going to bring in DK Giri.
Yeah, Anand, you know, I need a minute because, Lokesh Jindal had a long monologue and then he started interrupting me. I need my time. So first and foremost, when you talk about PM Kisan, you're talking of 87% of India's farmers who own less than 2 hectares of land and who have largely been classified as landless because less than 2 hectares of land is not economically viable. So some kind of hand-holding is required. When you give concessional loans at 7% or 8%, which is 3% or 4% below market rate under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, so that people with lack of access to proper finances under India's banking system can get loans so that they become self-employed, then it is not a freebie. You are giving concessional loans to a class of people who do not have the financial resources to go and take loan from a bank or a financial institution at 10%, 11% or 12%. So I have differentiated between a freebie and what is a subsidy. Now I will just say one thing. You know, the opposition has been basically playing shoot and shoot politics और बाद में जब इनकी गलती पकड़ी जाती है, चोरी पकड़ी जाती है, तब विक्टिमहुड का नैरेटिव खेलते हैं. मुझे बस आनंद जी 45 seconds दीजिए.
Sanju ji, can I please request you to please yield because Mr. DK Giri has not yet spoken. I need to bring him in and then you are the only one countering, so we'll come back to you. So please yield. The simple point is that the concept that she was trying to say is what China did with Sri Lanka and what India is doing with Sri Lanka. That's exactly what the current government wanted to do with the Kisan and break them away from the NBFCs and the Sahukars in terms of the high rate of interest and the vicious loan. You see what the Chinese loan apps are doing with gullible people, giving them 5-day loans and 10-day loans and 20-day loans in our country. So it's a similar concept, sir. But DK Giriji, where do you stand?
Hanji.
What is a freebie and what is not?
Well,
can I say हमको वोट दे दो, हम सबके अकाउंट में 1000 रुपए दे देंगे. हमको वोट दे दो, आपको फ्री वाईफाई मिलेगा.
Okay. Anand, I stand with the people who are starving, who are deprived and who are destitute. Anand, you and me have a physical body. Society is like that. Unless the blood circulates to all parts of the body also will be sick and will have disease. Like that, in society, everybody should get their due. And freebie is a pejorative term. It is their entitlement. Nobody is giving anything free.
Freebie is their entitlement or welfare is their
entitlement? Getting it free, Anand.
No. Freebie is the entitlement
Well,
or welfare
is entitlement. Anand, you and me are living in Delhi. Yeah, Anand, you and me are living in Delhi. Tell me, did you get anything free in Delhi? I didn't get anything.
You are getting 300 units of bijli free every month. Do you want 300 units of bijli free or will you give it up?
No, I'm not getting anything. Are you getting bijli free? I'm telling you.
Sir, the moment you consume more than 200 units in Delhi, it's not free. But for the first 200 units, if you consume up to 200 units, it's free.
That's right. So those who consume less than that, the poor, they are getting it free. So don't call it freebie. It is their social, it is their economic entitlement. And everybody
so the entitlement should be restricted to those who are poor. The entitlement should not be 200 units se kam. The entitlement should be that if your income is less than 2 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees per annum, then you will get 200 units of bijli free.
Well,
anything above that you pay for, but 200 units is free. That should be the scheme.
Free. Absolutely. That is fine. That is fine. So I am telling you, there are people even in Delhi who are starving, who are without job, who are destitute. Talk about them. There is nothing called freebie really. It is people everywhere in the world. People stand by the weak and the deprived. Only you should do that.
Standing by the weak and the deprived means your policies have to be targeted to elevate their social strata and also to improve their lives, not to keep them weak and deprived and keep throwing freebies at them. I say this is free. You don't have to work for it.
That is, but
so don't confuse between freebie and welfare.
You are giving subsidies to fertilizers, 3 lakh crore to subsidize, fertilizer subsidy, and then waiving of the loan of the big corporates. So you talk of the
Sir,
poor
loan waiver,
no,
writing off loans and loan waiver. Again, sir, you are confusing between freebie and welfare. You are confusing between loan waiver and loan write-offs. Sir, loan waiver and loan write-offs are two different things.
Anand, listen to me.
Sir, you are sitting there. You are sitting in Delhi with so many books behind you. I am sure there will be one which will be. Sir, there will be one which would be a dictionary. Please look at the difference between write-off and waiver. Please look at the difference between write-off and waiver. So, which corporate has been given a loan waiver, sir? Where has the loan waiver been given? Farmers have been given. The small and medium farmers, the poor farmers have been promised loan waivers by states who have no cash to waive those loans.
Anand, allow me to make one statement. Anand, allow me to make one statement, and I'm done. One statement. 90% people said they do not have food in the kitchen for 1 week.
But 80 crore people had food every month all through the last 2.5 years of COVID-19. That is welfare, sir. That is not freebie.
I don't know, Anand,
that is the food security
program. You are living in a rich society. I live in a poor society.
I need to come in, Anand.
No, sir. I'll tell you what. I live in society and I am aware and I am as much aware. Sir, I'll tell you what. Don't try and put labels on each other. Don't try and put labels on anybody. I am not questioning you. As far as I am concerned, sir, we are blessed to have a comfortable lifestyle, and our job is to ensure that those who don't, they also rise in life to come to a lifestyle which is comfortable. That's our commitment. Don't grudge anybody's wealth or anybody's. What you need to do is you should be concerned about somebody's poverty. That's one part. That's one. That is welfare, sir. That is Antyodaya. That is the ideals that was Deen Dayal Upadhyay's dream, Mahatma Gandhi's dream, B.R. Ambedkar's dream. So let's try and understand it. No, one minute. Sanju Verma respond. You are confusing between freebie and welfare. You are confusing between loan waiver and loan write-off. अब यही सब फंडे आपको समझाने पड़ेंगे तो problem है. But I believe that there are some netas who are also confusing as far as this is concerned. Sanju Verma, who are confusing between loan waiver and loan write-off.
May I please come in, Anand? He's been going on.
Who's entitled? There is no entitlement, sir. No, sir. Nobody. Okay, 1 minute. Sanju Verma, respond.
Yeah.
Anand. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Giri, please. You can rebut after I'm done. Anand, first and foremost, let me to your channel, because yours is such a widely watched show. A loan write-off is not akin to a loan waiver. Arvind Kejriwal recently said Modi सरकार ने 10 लाख करोड़ का अपने दोस्तों का लोन write off कर दिया. Write-off is simply a technical below.
He's right.
Please, can I?
Let her complete. She didn't heckle you. Let her complete, and then you respond, Mr. Giri. Yes.
I only said one sentence.
Okay, okay, yes, okay. Then after that, please calm down. Yeah, Sanju Verma, respond, and then you rebut, Mr. Giri. I'm not coming in between.
A loan write-off is simply a technical below-the-line adjustment done by a bank to show a cleaner and healthier balance sheet, but it does not mean that the bank has given up its legal right to recover dues from errant borrowers. Whereas the loan waiver means that the bank legally and technically forfeits, it gives up its right to recover dues from fraudulent borrowers or even borrowers who do not have the money to pay back or may be willfully defaulting. It basically means that a loan waiver is something that puts banks in disarray because they can never recover dues from errant borrowers. Whereas loan write-off means banks will continue to persist to recover dues, but the item of recovery will be shown as a below-the-line item so that bank's overall balance sheet looks healthier. Now I will tell you one simple thing, Mr. Giri. In the last 8 years, and I'm willing to have a gun to my head if my statement is wrong, under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, which came into existence in 2016, the Modi government has recovered 8.4 lakh crore worth of dues which were pending, some for the last 10 years, some for the last 20 years.
Sanju Verma.
Note down the number 8.4 lakh crore, which is
Sanju
equal
Verma
to
ji.
4% of India's GDP.
Sanju Verma ji,
4%
Sanju
of
Verma
India's
ji,
GDP.
Sanju Verma ji, Kanchan Gupta, Senior Advisor, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has put out, you got that number wrong. You have to revise it upward. It is 8.6 lakh crore in the last 8 years. So that's what he has put out. He said banks recover 8.6 lakh crore worth of loans which the opposition claims have been written off. Sorry, they have been waived. Sir, these loans were categorized as bad loans, but they have been recovered. Just like NPAs, bad loans are also, or loans that are written off can also be recovered. They have made recovery of 8.6 lakh crore. तो कौन से कॉर्पोरेट का 10 लाख करोड़ वेवर कर दिया सर?
आनंद जी सिर्फ 10 सेकंड और आनंद जी 10 सेकंड
No, I have just got, acha, there is something about, there is another allegation which has come in. Now, please, I will ask.
Give another set of.
I'm coming back to you. I'm just saying Amit Malviya has also just tweeted once again. He's put out some more numbers, and this is from the CNAG report, which he says has been delayed by about 4 years since July 2020. In July 2022, only this report of the Delhi government, the Delhi government has been put out. Now, this is what he has said. The Delhi government's debt has increased by nearly by nearly 90% given over the last 4-year period. 7%, beg your pardon, 7% over the last 4-year period up to 2019-2020. The debt increased by 2,268.93 crores, 6.98% up. And from 32,497 at the beginning to 34,766. But more importantly, the revenue surplus was 7,499 crore of the revenue receipts. But they say the Delhi government has been able to maintain a revenue surplus largely account of pension liabilities of employees being borne by the central government. And also, since the Delhi police comes under the jurisdiction of the central government, the cost of the Delhi police also, the entire police machinery is also being shouldered by the state. The observation is that the increase in investment in 2019-2020 over previous year was 150 crore on account of investment made by Delhi Metro Corporation, which is indicative of the state's failure into bringing any large investment. Expenditure on subsidies has increased from 1,867 crore to 3,592 crore. So an increase, expenditure on subsidies has increased by 41.8%. So these numbers are only showing that कि पैसा कहीं और से आ रहा है, revenue दिखाया जा रहा है because you are not shouldering bulk of the expenditure. DK Giri, respond, and then Sanju Verma.
No, let me give, okay, let me tell you another set of statistics. In our country, 1% of people hold 25% of assets, another 20% of people hold 70% of assets, and rest hold only 4.5% of the assets. How does these people, majority, how do they survive if you do not provide them with welfare measures, which you call freebies?
No, sir, I'm not calling welfare measures freebies.
It is their entitlement.
I'm saying freebies should not be welfare. You have to do welfare measures and not give freebies.
I am telling you, I give you the source. I'm a professor, I'll give you the source. The wire, 25th July, Professor Arun Kumar, look at the statistics. And look at, you can give
sir,
all kinds of statistics.
I can only very respectfully say, sir, we are playing a cricket match, you have come wearing football, you're kitted for a football game.
Do not have the
That's what seems to have happened today, sir, because I am not questioning welfare at all. I am saying don't confuse the two. And we are saying we need to look at welfare schemes, but not try and go ahead and promise freebies at the cost of the state and at the cost of the people. Sanju Verma and then Lokesh Jindal, final word. Sanju Verma.
Are we?
Mr.
The
Giri,
socio-economic
please.
caste census mechanism has been with lots of doubt. There is a pitching that there must be universalization of beneficiaries, there is universalization of all forms of benefits that must give effect to, so that there is a minimum, we will say, corruption.
Sir,
and
it's,
overall.
sir, it's a
Anand,
simple,
let me come in.
it's a simple definition, sir, that the Prime Minister has already spoken. He said haves and have-nots. You focus your welfare schemes for the have-nots, but you do it in a way that the state exchequer doesn't bleed. You create revenue streams, you create opportunity, and you create more haves and reduce the number of have-nots. But that's simple economics. Yes. Sanju Verma, final word.
It's a question.
Have to wind up.
Please, Lokesh, you had your say. Anand, I think, it's very important for your audience to know one very important figure. Wealth creation by big businesses cannot be demonized. It is not a crime. Reliance today employs 236,000 people. Infosys employs 276,000 people. TCS employs 6 lakh people. Mahindra and Mahindra employs 240,000 people. Wipro employs 231,000 people. So please stop demonizing big businesses. Point number one. Point number two. Anand, this is not a way to debate. I refuse to debate like this. I refuse to debate like this. Anand, I refuse to debate.
Which loans? No loans have been written off, sir. The loans, writing off loans does not mean they cannot be recovered. It doesn't mean they have been waived. Don't miss the tree. Sir, 8.6 lakh crore worth of loans that were written off have been recovered in the last 8 years. Have you not read those numbers? Don't try. Let's not try and argue for the sake of arguing. Yeah, Sanju Verma.
Anand, this is not fair. Anand, I'll just complete by saying one very important data point which nobody seems to be mentioning, because freebies की कई debates पर मैं गई हूँ and people say, अरे इतनी सारी unemployment है and the Modi government, is not worried and is indulging in freebie politics. Let me tell you, every month in the EPFO, 13 lakh people join, which means every year 1.56 crore people join the EPFO, which means in the last 8 years, in the last 8 years, 12.48 crore people have joined the formal sector. 12.48 crore people have joined the formal sector.
The point is, the debate tonight is about who is doling out freebies at the cost of the exchequer, at the cost of bleeding a state, and at the cost of trying to only unnecessarily extend the load of borrowings on the state. That's what we are saying. We're going to wind up the debate on a very, very fine note that is trying to draw the line between freebie and welfare. Freebie politics and decoding that fine line between baiting for votes. Now, freebie politics baits for votes. Like quickly, it's a pre-poll move, it's an election tactic. It's a welfare move based on empirical research and consultation, and it does not have the outlook of trying to garner votes. It's a continuous process, universal and general for all. This is tailored to a specific group and strata. Taxpayers' money for electoral gain. This is a measure to ease the financial stress and the burden. Designed to impact voters' choice. This is unrelated to voting. And it hits the state's finances, deepens debt. In this case, there is a larger economic security exercise that is undertaken, and this is budgeted for. So it is based on your income that you decide the expenditure with a certain margin as a deficit, which you try and augment or you will try and make up for. That's how it is, ladies and gentlemen, in this freebies versus welfare debate, largely. But like I said the last time around, we as a voter have to think, if somebody throws something at us, will we go ahead and give up, sell our vote to that person, or will we stand back and decide our vote counts and who's actually going to make our lives better, rather than throwing out a few doles like a TV or a mixer or a grinding machine or a few ₹1,000 notes, or just give us that lure. Let's not fall for that bait. We're going to wind up. Thank you to our guests for joining us on debate number 1. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's the Tiranga quiz. Get onto the phones, pick up the phone line, and be ready with your answers. There are many more coming through, but this is the simplest one that I'm going to tease. This is our first question tonight. Tell me if you know the answer. Identify the chakra that is used in the Indian flag. A, B, C. There are 3 chakras that you see. Which is the chakra that is used in the Indian flag? Which is the chakra that is the Ashoka chakra? Tell us the answer. Pick up the phone line and pick up the phone and call us. See you on the other side.